The sun had barely risen over the small town of Willowbrook, but its golden rays struggled to pierce through the cold, gray clouds hovering above the narrow streets. In a modest house at the end of Maple Lane, a woman named Amara sat by the window, staring at the empty road outside. Her hands were folded over each other, trembling slightly, not from cold, but from the weight of worry that had become a permanent fixture in her life. Amara's son, Ethan, had always been her world. From the moment she first held him in her arms, she knew her life had transformed. Every sleepless night, every meal skipped to save for his school fees, every worry over his health or happiness, had all been worth it. But now, at 10 years old, Ethan was growing into a world that was far more complicated than a mother's love alone could shield him from. Today was different. Today, Ethan was to meet someone who had come into their lives unexpectedly, his father's estranged friend, Mr. Harris, who claimed to offer help for Ethan's education. Amara had felt uneasy, a shiver running down her spine, but the man had promised opportunities she couldn't ignore. She wanted to protect Ethan, but she also knew life sometimes required sacrifice. When Ethan came running into the kitchen, his face lit up with innocence and excitement. "Mom, look, I got a gold star on my science project," he shouted, waving a crumpled paper proudly. Amara smiled, her heart swelling. "That's wonderful, sweetheart. I'm so proud of you." Ethan's eyes sparkled as he looked at her. "I want to be a scientist one day, Mom. I'll invent something that will help the world." Amara brushed back a stray strand of his hair. "And you will, my love. You will. But remember, it's not just talent that takes you there, it's patience, hard work, and kindness." As Ethan rushed off to prepare for his meeting with Mr. Harris, Amara felt a sudden pang of fear. Something about the man unsettled her, but she dismissed it, telling herself she was just being protective. A mother's hidden struggles. Life hadn't always been easy for Amara. Ethan's father had left when Ethan was just a toddler, abandoning them both without explanation. The memories of those dark days still haunted her. The lonely nights, the unanswered questions, the constant struggle to make ends meet. Yet, despite all of that, she never let Ethan feel the depth of her pain. Every night, after tucking Ethan into bed, Amara would sit alone in the dimly lit kitchen, silently crying. She didn't cry for herself but for the life she wished she could give her son, the life she imagined when she first held him, dreaming of seeing him grow up happy and loved. She prayed silently, hoping that the universe would grant her son a future filled with opportunities, even if it meant enduring pain herself. The meeting with Mr. Harris. Ethan returned, nervously clutching his school bag. "Mom, he's here. Do you want to meet him?" Amara took a deep breath and nodded. "Yes, let's meet him." Mr. Harris was a tall man with a sharp suit and a warm smile that almost seemed genuine. He extended his hand. "Amara, I've heard so much about your wonderful son. I hope we can help him achieve his dreams." Amara shook his hand cautiously. "Thank you. I just want what's best for him." As the meeting progressed, Mr. Harris spoke of scholarships, opportunities abroad, and how Ethan's talent should be nurtured. Ethan's eyes shone with hope, but Amara noticed a flicker of something in Mr. Harris's gaze, a hint of calculation. Her motherly instinct screamed at her, warning her that this man wasn't entirely trustworthy, yet she swallowed her fears, choosing to focus on the potential opportunity for Ethan. "We will consider your offer, Mr. Harris," she said gently. Ethan hugged his mother tightly as they walked back home. "Mom, do you think I can really go to that school? Will I be able to learn everything I want?" Amara knelt down to meet his gaze. "You can do anything, Ethan, and I'll always be here, cheering for you, every step of the way." A glimpse of innocence that evening. Ethan played in the small garden behind their house, chasing butterflies and laughing with pure, untainted joy. Amara watched him from the window, her heart a mixture of pride and worry. Every laugh, every step he took, reminded her of the fragility of innocence and the inevitability of life's harshness. She remembered her own childhood, filled with struggles she had silently endured, and vowed that Ethan's childhood would be different. No matter the challenges ahead, she would shield him as best as she could, even if it meant sacrificing her own happiness. The storm approaches. Days turned into weeks, and Mr. Harris's visits became more frequent. His words, always polite and persuasive, began to influence Ethan. He started talking about moving to a new city, about new friends and new schools, about a future that seemed brighter than the modest life he had known. Amara noticed the change, and with it, a growing fear. She understood that she couldn't hold him back forever. Children, by nature, must grow, explore, and sometimes leave behind the safety of home. But the thought of losing Ethan, even for a better life, was unbearable. One night, as rain poured down in heavy sheets, Amara sat by Ethan's bed. She watched him sleep, the soft rise and fall of his chest a rhythm she had come to cherish. "I can't lose you," she whispered. "No one can ever understand how much I love you, Ethan, not even the whole world." The storm outside mirrored the storm in her heart, a tempest of love, fear, and uncertainty. A son's innocent wish. Ethan awoke the next morning with excitement in his eyes. "Mom, today I'll meet the scholarship committee. They might choose me to go to the new school." Amara forced a smile, hiding her trembling hands. "I know, sweetheart. You'll do amazing. Just be yourself." As Ethan left for the meeting, Amara felt an emptiness she hadn't expected. She had always imagined herself walking beside him through life, guiding him gently. The thought that soon, he might be walking paths where she couldn't follow, filled her with a silent grief she could neither voice nor contain. Parting words that evening, Ethan returned, his face glowing with excitement. "Mom, they said I'm selected. I can go to the new school. Can you believe it?" Amara hugged him tightly, fighting back tears. "I believe in you, Ethan. You deserve this. I'm so proud of you." But as she held him, a part of her heart ached. This was the beginning of a journey where her pain and his innocence would clash with the realities of life, a journey that would test the strength of a mother's love like never before. The morning sun streamed through the curtains, casting a warm glow across Amara's small living room. The day was calm, almost deceptively so. Ethan's acceptance into the new school had brought joy, yes, but also a storm of anxiety that Amara couldn't shake. She busied herself with packing Ethan's things for the trip, folding shirts and neatly arranging books. Every item she touched seemed to carry a silent weight, the weight of her hopes, her fears, and her unspoken pain. Ethan, meanwhile, bounced around the house, humming a cheerful tune, completely oblivious to his mother's inner turmoil. His innocent laughter filled the house like a fragile melody, delicate yet profoundly moving. "Mom, look, I've packed my bag all by myself," he said proudly, holding up a small backpack adorned with cartoon characters. Amara smiled, though a tear threatened to escape. "That's wonderful. Ethan, you're growing up so fast." He beamed, not understanding the storm behind her eyes. "Will you come visit me soon, Mom? I'll miss you." Amara's heart clenched, but she maintained her composure. "Of course, my love. I'll always come see you. You're never alone, remember?" A mother's silent sacrifice. Mara had always been strong, though many never realized the depth of her resilience. Every sacrifice she had made, the extra shifts at work, the skipped meals, the sleepless nights, had been for Ethan. Yet, as she watched him prepare to leave for this new chapter, she felt an unfamiliar weakness. For the first time, she realized that no amount of love could protect him from the world's hardships. She remembered the nights she had whispered prayers into the darkness, asking for protection, guidance, and strength for her son. She had always believed that love alone could shield him, but now she saw that life demanded more than love, it demanded letting go. The thought of Ethan stepping into a world beyond her control filled her with fear. What if he struggled? What if he was misunderstood or taken advantage of? The questions were endless, and the answers elusive. The farewell, the day of departure, arrived with bittersweet emotions. Mr. Harris, impeccably dressed as always, had arrived to escort Ethan to his new school. Amara's hands trembled as she handed over Ethan's bag. "Take care of him," she said quietly, her voice barely above a whisper. Mr. Harris smiled, a practiced warmth in his eyes. "Don't worry, Amara. He'll be fine. He's talented, and the school will nurture him well." Ethan hugged his mother tightly, his small arms encircling her neck. "Mom, I'll make you proud. I promise." Amara held him close, the tears she had been holding back finally spilling over. "You already make me proud, my love. Just promise me you'll be kind, no matter what." Ethan nodded enthusiastically. "I promise." And with that, the car drove away, leaving Amara standing alone on the doorstep, the echo of her son's laughter lingering in the air like a fragile dream. Life in a new world. Ethan's arrival at the new school was a whirlwind of excitement and nervousness. The sprawling campus, the large classrooms, and the diversity of students both amazed and overwhelmed him. But Ethan, with his innocent curiosity and genuine heart, quickly began to make friends. He shared stories about his mother with anyone who would listen. "My mom." The crisp autumn air greeted Ethan as he walked through the sprawling campus of his new school. The golden leaves swirled around his small feet, and the laughter of children echoed across the courtyard. Yet, for all the excitement of his new life, Ethan felt a twinge of unease. The world beyond his mother's loving arms was larger, louder, and sometimes less forgiving than he had imagined. He carried with him a small photograph of Amara, tucked safely in his wallet. Looking at it, he whispered, "Mom, I'll make you proud. I won't let anything hurt me." The shadows of friendship. Ethan's innocence shone brightly, and it attracted attention, both good and bad. Among his classmates, a boy named Daniel seemed friendly at first, offering help with homework and sharing snacks. But over time, Daniel's motives became clear. "Why do you always brag about your mom?" Daniel sneered one afternoon. "She's just some woman working all the time. You think you're better than us?" Ethan's heart sank. He had never felt judged before, and the cruelty stung. I love my mom," he whispered, trying to explain. But Daniel laughed and walked away. The words echoed in Ethan's mind for days. For the first time, he questioned if his love and pride for his mother were wrong, or if they made him an outcast. Yet, even in his confusion, the memory of Amara's unwavering support reminded him to remain kind and patient. A mother's silent battle. Back home in Willowbrook, Amara sensed that something was troubling Ethan. Her maternal instincts, honed over years of worry and protection, could not be silenced by distance. She wrote another letter, pouring her heart into every word. "Dear Ethan, I know life can sometimes be unfair, and people may not always understand your heart. But remember, my love is your strength. No matter what anyone says, never let go of kindness. Stand tall, and remember who you are." She sealed the letter and mailed it, hoping her words would reach him in time. She prayed silently, asking for courage to protect him in ways beyond her reach. The first real test. Weeks later, the school announced a competition for young inventors, a chance for students to present their projects to a panel of educators and industry experts. Ethan, ever curious and ambitious, immediately decided to participate. He worked tirelessly, often staying late after classes, sketching ideas, building prototypes, and testing experiments, but the pressure was immense. Other students mocked him, pointing out mistakes and calling his designs childish. Even Daniel found ways to discourage him, whispering, "You'll never win. You're just a mama's boy." Ethan felt a lump in his throat. He wanted to defend himself, but he remembered his mother's words. Kindness and courage were stronger than anger and pride. He continued to work quietly, pouring his love and innocence into every creation. The evening letters. Each evening, Ethan would sit by the window, waiting for letters from Amara. Her words became his sanctuary, a gentle reminder of home and unconditional love. "Dear Ethan, every mistake you make is a lesson, and every challenge is an opportunity. Don't be afraid to fail, because every failure is a step closer to success. And remember, my love follows you, always." He read the letters over and over, feeling his mother's presence even miles away. Her wisdom became his guiding light, helping him navigate the treacherous waters of schoolyard rivalry and academic pressure. Friendship forms. Despite the harsh words from some classmates, Ethan found comfort in Lila, the quiet girl he had befriended earlier. Lila admired Ethan's resilience and shared his curiosity for learning. Together, they experimented, brainstormed, and laughed, creating a small world where innocence and creativity thrived. One rainy afternoon, they sat in the school library, building a miniature solar-powered car. Lila looked up at Ethan and said softly, "You remind me of your mom. You're kind, patient, and never give up." Ethan smiled, feeling warmth in his chest. "I hope I can make her proud." "Everything to me." Lila nodded. "Then I'm sure you will." Even in the face of challenges, Ethan's innocent love for his mother and his belief in kindness began to influence others. Slowly, a small circle of classmates started respecting him not for his achievements alone, but for his character. The storm of misunderstanding. Yet, life was not without its harsh lessons. One day, Daniel took it upon himself to spread rumors about Ethan, claiming he was getting unfair advantages because of Mr. Harris. The whispers spread through the school like wildfire. Ethan, innocent and unassuming, didn't understand the implications. He tried to explain to his friends, "It's not true. I just work hard, and my mom, she loves me. That's all." But the rumors persisted. The competition judges, initially impressed by his work, began to question whether he had received outside help. For the first time, Ethan felt a pang of doubt, not about his skills, but about the world's perception of him. A mother's intervention. Amara sensed trouble from afar. She had trusted Mr. Harris's guidance, but now she feared that his influence or the misinterpretation of it might harm Ethan. She wrote a letter that night, her words sharp with wisdom yet filled with love. "Dear Ethan, never let anyone's doubts shake your spirit. Work with honesty, stay kind, and trust in yourself. Remember that love and effort are stronger than rumors. I believe in you, And nothing can change that. Keep going, my heart. Ethan received the letter the next morning. He read it with trembling hands, tears streaming down his face. Her words gave him courage. For the first time, he realized that love wasn't just a feeling, it was a shield. A source of strength that no rumor, no hardship, could ever break. The competition date. The day of the Young Inventors competition arrived. Ethan's hands shook as he presented his solar-powered car, explaining every mechanism, every calculation, and every challenge he had overcome. Daniel sneered from the audience, trying to distract him, but Ethan stayed calm. His eyes searched the room for support, and though his mother was miles away, her presence was palpable in his heart. By the end of the presentation, judges were visibly impressed. They saw not just the innovation, but the perseverance, patience, and love that had fueled it. Ethan's innocence and determination shone brighter than any engineered mechanism. When the winners were announced, Ethan's name was called for first place. His heart leaped with joy. But the real triumph was deeper, a validation of the values his mother had instilled in him: courage, integrity, and unwavering love. The return home. After the competition, Ethan returned home for a brief vacation. He ran into Amara's arms, hugging her tightly. "Mom, I won. I did it." Amara's eyes welled up with tears. "I always knew you could, my love. I'm so proud of you." Ethan looked at her, his young eyes shining. "I couldn't have done it without you, Mom. Your letters, your love, it kept me strong." Amara held him close, whispering, "And I will always be here, Ethan. Always." In that embrace, the hardships of the past months, the rumors, the jealousy, the fear faded away. What remained was pure, unbreakable love, a mother's pain intertwined with a son's innocent devotion. The winter winds swept through Willowbrook as Ethan prepared to return to his school. The brief vacation had been filled with laughter, stories, and quiet moments between mother and son. Yet, Amara sensed that life's final test was approaching, the kind of challenge that would define both their hearts forever. One evening, as Ethan packed his bag, a letter arrived from the school administration. It revealed that a scholarship issue had arisen due to a bureaucratic error. Ethan's placement was at risk. Panic gripped his young heart, and he rushed to Amara. "Mom, they might take it away. What if I can't go back?" he cried. Amara held him close, her hands trembling. She had faced countless struggles in her life, but she knew that this time, the choice was hers. She could fight the bureaucracy herself, risking her health and savings, or make a sacrifice that only a mother could understand. "I'll take care of it, Ethan," she whispered, "whatever it takes." Days passed as Amara worked tirelessly, contacting officials, filling forms, and negotiating terms. She slept little, ate less, and ignored her own health. Every call, every document, every moment was a silent battle fought for her son's future. Ethan, oblivious to the extent of her struggle, continued to study and play, his innocence untouched by the world's hardships. Finally, the news came. Ethan's scholarship was reinstated. The joy in his eyes was indescribable. "Mom, you did it. I can go back." Amara smiled weakly, hiding her exhaustion. "Yes, my love, you can go. Just promise me you'll keep being kind, brave, and true to yourself." Ethan hugged her tightly. "I promise, Mom. I'll make you proud forever." As he left for school, Amara watched him go, a mix of relief and pain in her heart. Her body was weary, her health fragile, but her spirit soared, knowing that Ethan's innocence and love had been preserved. She had endured the storm so that her son could flourish in the light. That night, as snow fell softly outside, Amara sat by the window, looking at the stars. She whispered a silent prayer of gratitude, hope, and love. Her pain had been immense, but so had her joy. And in Ethan's eyes, in his laughter, in his innocent heart, she saw the proof that a mother's love could conquer every hardship, no matter the distance, no matter the trials. The bond between them remained unbroken, a love so powerful, so enduring, that it would carry them both through every challenge life could throw their way.